If you've ever said, why are you talking to me like that in your marriage, this video is for you. Look, it's not always about yelling, but I'm talking about that tone, that eye roll, that sarcasm, those small little comments that cut you, that make you react. Look, most marriages, they don't fall apart because of one big mistake or one big crisis. They fall apart because respect slowly disappears. And when that respect goes away, guess what follows? Attraction. So in this video, I'm going to show you why disrespect is one of the fastest way to kill your connection and destroy your marriage. And I'm going to show you how to stop it before it becomes normal. Right? So look, this is what most couples think. They're like, all right, what do we do to fix this? Because there's obviously something here. So they think we just argue too much. We're just both strong personalities. That's why. It's because it's just how we talk. Look, this is not the complete truth here. The issue is not arguing. The issue is how you argue. Arguing, conflict, it's not bad. Without conflict, there can be no change. And if we're not changing and growing together, that's not a good sign either, right? If we're not growing, we're either dead or we're dying. So we need to be growing in our relationship. But disrespect begins to kill that. And disrespect doesn't always look dramatic. Right? It can look like something very basic, but these things start to build up, that snowball effect, right? Where they're the eye rolling, the talking over each other. Or you know, when you start saying those extremes, like you never, like when we start saying things like that, we're creating a big problem, right? Or correcting your spouse in front of other people, or having a mocking tone, right? Like these type of things don't sound like big, like it's like horrible, but it starts to feel big. It starts to build up. In every marriage that loses attraction, that loses that disrespect, they go through this certain pattern. And you can see it all around. Like, so I hope you guys see yourself in this pattern so we can interrupt it, right? And then you can see it in other people's relationships. What happens? Every marriage that loses that respect and attraction, what happens? First, for the attraction to go, first the respect begins to go away. Like you're not really respecting each other as much, right? So then no respect, the tone starts to change. And then now one person is going to feel small or attacked, right? And they start to shut down or they start to fight back. And now that emotional stability, safety, certainty disappears. Now attraction cannot grow in an unsafe environment. You're not going to feel like, ooh, what's up? Or feel attracted, or I want to be around you. Like that's not going to be there when you don't feel safe. Right? So that's why this feels familiar. We get stuck in this, and it's not that you don't love each other. It's not that, you know, your spouse is the villain or you're the villain. The real issue is that you were never shown how to disagree without damaging respect, without damaging your identity. How can you disagree? I mean, it's not bad to disagree. This is the part of growth in a relationship. And I'm telling you, the problem is not the conflict. The problem is the contempt, that what you're creating in the midst of the conflict. And when one person feels like superior or dismissive, like where you're like just being dismissed or constantly corrected, this is where the respect in the relationship begins to die, begins to erode, begins to just kind of And that respect is the foundation to the attraction, to the passion in your relationship. So what do? How do we fix this, right? Like, if you're in this, I hope that this is relating to you and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm connected, but what do I do, Richard? Like, I want to do something about it. And look, I want to encourage you, there's hope. Your relationship can be enjoyable again. Hope is a confident expectation of coming good. It's not like I really hope so. No, it's a confident expectation of coming good. How can we be so confident that our relationship will get better? When we make it better. No excuses. So how? I'm going to give you something you can do right away to get a result, yes? So start this rule immediately. No character attacks. Start to apply this in your relationship and watch what it does for you and for them, right? For both of you, for your whole household, I'm telling you, like it will have a huge change. Don't attack character. Stop attacking character. Like don't say, well, it's because you're lazy or you're selfish or you never care. You always do this. Like that's attacking character. That's what like gets people to be defensive, and it's like this is what's killing your connection and relationship. Instead, say, hey, when this happens, I feel. So I'm not saying that you can't call each other out, that you can't correct, you can't be honest. It doesn't mean that you have to be like a doormat now and just, okay, whatever, I have to be patient, I don't want to fight. No, that's not what it is either. You need to communicate, you need to correct. They need to know that they overstepped the boundary, that they hurt you, that they're not protecting the connection with something they did or said or didn't do or say. They're not protecting the connection. So we need to communicate, but communicate it in the right way. Hey, when this happened, when this happens, when you do this, when this happens in our life, I feel this way. And it's not about blaming. You're focusing on behavior, not identity. Focus on the behavior and what that did to your connection, how it made you feel, rather than let's say you did this and you made me do this and you're attacking their identity. That's not going to help. And again, when it comes to the conflict in your relationship, can you do this as well? Because I'm telling you that disrespect, it's so much more, not just when you're just being sharp and correcting them alone, but when you do that in front of other people. So this is what I ask you to do, like correct privately. If you have something, like take them aside or wait, like just keep a mental note and then correct with strategy, not like out of emotion or reaction, right? Like, and then do your praising, your recognition. Hey, good job. I love you. Oh, you look so good in that. Like, do that in public. And of course, it's not just you saying it, it's how you say it. Your tone. Your tone matters. Your tone matters most during a fight, during tension, during stress. That's when it matters the most. So the goal, can you guys settle this, please, in your mind? Like, your goal is not to win. Your goal is not to win. It's not like I want to be right and make them wrong. No, it's what is right for us. The goal is not to win. The goal is to preserve the respect, the connection, big picture. Like, come on. We get caught up on these little offenses, these little things, and we start to hold it up, and we're like, well, I'm not going to get treated. And it goes into something bigger. Respect builds safety. So we have to have this respect for one another and know how to deliver, know when to correct and when to praise. Because safety, when you start to feel safe like that, it builds connection. And that connection, guess what it builds? More attraction. Right? Because you feel connected. Now it's like more attracted. And this brings you together and bonds and creates a power, and it creates more enjoy, like more enjoyable times together. And when something feels off, this is where we start to get, like, our nervous system begins to shut down and go into defense because we don't want to get hurt anymore. So defense kills intimacy, because I'm like this. Intimacy is into me, you see. I want to share what's going on, how I feel, how I like. But if I don't feel safe, I'm going to be in defense. So defense it kills intimacy. Look, when it comes to your marriage requires humility. It requires you to be patient. Like, this is love, right? You cannot build closeness and intimacy trying to dominate and trying to be right all the time. It's not going to work. You cannot build closeness while you're trying to dominate and be right. You must be willing to check your tone, to see how your words, how your tone, how your expressions, how your delivery is causing them to react and get defensive. Like, this is love. You have to protect your spouse's heart, respect their dignity, like, this is what it is. Even when you're frustrated, even when you're mad at them, you still do it. This is maturity. Come on. We're grown up now. So your communication matters. Your emotional connection matters. But even when those exist, when you have communication, when you have emotional connection, if respect dies, attraction dies too. Yes? So look, in the next episode, I'm going to show you what we're talking about when it comes to the same fight again. Why arguments repeat? Why nothing changes? Why does this happen? Why do we keep talking and fighting about the same thing? Like, it's like, again? Why does that happen? I'm going to go over that in the next episode. Now, if you feel like any of this has connected with you, bless you. I want to pray for your marriage. But if you're wondering whether disrespect has slowly become normal in your marriage, and maybe it's creating something bigger than you think, then go to the description here and take my free relationship assessment. It's going to show you exactly where your communication is strong, where it's weak, where your tone is creating damage, where you need more attention right now to make change. It's going to be very specific, because that awareness is the first step to you resetting, you repairing the relationship, right? Now, if your relationship is like in crisis mode, or you need like some more serious help, not just an assessment, there's a link right here for a 30-day reset. Okay, so if you realize that it's not just about, it's not just a conversation that I need to have, it's more serious, I need to reset some things. 30-day reset is going to show you how to structure this into your daily life so you can build the respect, the communication, the emotional safety, and it all starts with the clarity, so that's why you take the assessment. Look, disrespect doesn't destroy your marriage in one day or 1 week. But the longer it becomes normal and this is how we're doing it, it's going to be a lot harder to rebuild and to fix, right? So it's not time to panic, but let's pivot, let's prepare, let's do something different. Let's interrupt the pattern. You didn't lose love, the love is still there. You just lost some connection, and that connection only comes back when you rebuild it on purpose, right? So I'm Richard Martinez. Thank you guys. Remember, going to the next one, into the next episode, these are the 5 biggest mistakes that are destroying marriage relationships, and they don't have to. So make sure you guys go check out the other ones and see the links in the bio. Like, save, comment, all those things, right? Bless you guys.